down here at the Econo Lodge in Walterboro, South Carolina. Like these cases, I got a bunch of these hard cases. They went out of business probably because they made too good of a product. Anyways, I love those cases, and haven't used one in a while because I'm always using my longbow or recurve. But I brought this APA and going to do APA compound bow versus Celtic. I call it Boston Celtic, but it's a Celtic recurve bow. It's kind of a workhorse bow for me. I got a 400 grain prototype, traditional only, modest cut broadhead on these big hogs I'm gonna use with that bow. And then this is different for me too. 100 grain broadhead and 100 grain jumbo 3, and also this is only a 380 total arrow weight, 380 grain FOC King steel footed IBO illegal arrow shaft. So 380 grain arrow, 100 grain jumbo 3 broadhead, probably the widest cut, 3 blade cut on contact, steel, all steel broadhead out there. That's all steel, and we'll see how it does on these big hogs. Hopefully big hogs, we'll see. But let's see what the compound will do. The only thing different is I took my back tension release, the loop off, and I'll just use a shooting tab, so I could carry both up in the tree and just use a shooting tab instead of messing around with a back tension release. But I've been on the road and doing some hunting, and I thought it'd be kind of neat to do a compound bow versus recurve bow. But it's hunting. I might not get a shot off, but I'll be carrying 2 bows out there tomorrow and try to switch between the 2. So I started with the compound bow and the 100 grain jumbo 3, 380 grain arrow. And if you'll notice, I don't have any way to record shooting these hogs. You see a bunch of sows in there and piglets, and then you won't see me shoot this boar, but you're gonna have to believe me that I shot it with my compound bow. He's gonna come in the scene real shortly. Those are all sows and piglets. I feel like I saw hundreds of piglets. Right there, the black and gray boar right there that the jumbo 3 broadhead's pointing at. So I already shot that and harvested that one. Then I picked up my recurve and I shoot that brown one right here. I'll be quiet so you can hear me shoot it. And that brown one died quick right there, about 5 yards into the woods. I don't know if you could see that lighted knock.
100 grain jumbo 3. The compound went a little further, but a lot more blood. But these are little pigs. Just let these ones go.
Yeah. That's my new prototype broadhead. Didn't quite get through, but I got good penetration on that hog.
That's definitely,
how much you think he weighs?
300 pound.
Yeah, 300 pound. Yeah, I got that for just a 1 1/8 inch cut. That traditional 3 blade, From a tree stand, I would say the less bubble levels and back bars, the better off you are. Recurve over compound bow, I would say, from 0 to 20 yards, but that's just me. Find what works for you. It doesn't matter recurve or compound bow, just find what works for you the best and that you feel the best with. Well, Matt Williams hunting, and we got such big hogs, we had to get the loader on the John Deere, and then Richard's got the side-by-side, got a nice hog in there, and my new traditional broadhead prototype, 400 grain, 1 1/8 inch cut, modest cut, that hog didn't go 5 yards. That Jumbo 3, 1.5 inch cut, 380 grain arrow, that compound bow, that went about, well, Richard, what would that be, about 80 yards from that stand? About 80 yards. But if you're ever down here in South Carolina, try coming hunting with these guys, Williams Hunting, and they got the best hogs, and it's great for broadhead testing, but it's just great fun.
Yes, sir. Good fun.
Then again, a compound bow is extremely efficient, and a low draw weight compound bow is much more powerful and has much more efficiency. You can push a lot bigger broadhead through with a compound bow than a recurve or a long bow, of course.
So John's got him up there in the John Deere. And then Richard's got another one right there. So shot that one with a recurve and shot this one with a compound. But yeah, this Williams Hunting's where it's at. Look at that new broadhead I got coming out for the traditional. Still bleeding. It's just a 1 1/8 inch cut, but still got that arrow in there pretty good on this one. And the recurve got it done. And then the Jumbo 300 grain, you got to think that was only a 380 grain arrow. I mean, it's a deer hunting arrow that took it down. How heavy you think this is, guys, this hog?
300.
About 300 or so, you know. Well, there's your loader bucket right there, if that tells you anything. So anyhow,
Fills it up.
yeah. Anyhow, I was going to keep shooting them, but I'm glad I didn't, because my wallet would really be empty. And we'd be going and getting them still. We need another tractor.
You'll fill the coolers up.
But these guys are great. They'll come and pick it up with a tractor, and they got the side-by-side, and you can't go wrong. If you're down in South Carolina or northern Georgia, come up here to that Williams Hunting, and I had a great time, John and Richard. So, yeah.
Bees for the people.
So the compound bow, 100 grain Jumbo 3 blade, 380 grain arrow. That's an awful light arrow for this, but cut on contact. Net hog only went 80 yards. That one's, what's that? 334.8. 334 pounds right there on the hoof there.
Big pig.
That's a nice pig. What do you think, John? What do you think's gonna be heavier, that one or this one?
I think they're gonna be close. They're
Close.
gonna be almost identical. There, I mean, within maybe 10 pounds. 334 on that one.
334. Well, see what this one goes for with the recurve bow. And that was actually a 400 grain broadhead. So the broadhead for this one, that broadhead weighed more than that arrow, that compound bow arrow. I use a steel-footed FOC King for that one. And then for my recurve, I always use a Cryo DG goat arrow, or FOC King arrow with footings, because my secret is I use my footings, long footings, is my clicker. So that makes me wicked accurate. It's just like a clicker without the clicker, and it's good for hunting. So that's the only reason you see me using those discontinued arrows, because I use those long footings for my clicker on my long bows and my recurves, and I draw them all exactly the same, you know. And then the APA compound's got limb stop. But I use the cable stop. I turn the limb stop off, but yeah. We'll see what this one weighs.
This is not.
Boy, on the hook, that one looked a lot bigger, but they look.
This one, I think, the brown one's a little bit longer,
Yeah.
but
And then there's a third one there that was really nice too. About the same size as these two.
oof,
But when I shot this one, the third one, or no, when I shot this one, the third one run away.
He said, the heck with it.
Yeah, he was out of there pretty quick. Pretty quick.
I
Man.
can't go up with a jump.
I see all them sows, they like attacking everything that tries eating the corn. And big sows.
They're ruthless, aren't they?
to 100. Holy crap! These are some big. I don't know if it does it justice, but they're pretty. In the video, they're pretty big. Two? No. That one is. Oh, that one's on it a little bit, maybe.
Okay, so
You think?
35.
Oh, there, it's not touching now. What's it say?
301.
301.
301. So that one is a little smaller. 301. They're both massive though. So
Right, right in there.
yeah, recurve bow and that 400 grain prototype broadhead. We got that. Got that one. Oh, that was a lot of fun. Got all that meat.
The compound bow killed a bigger boar, but that doesn't mean anything. And with the Jumbo 3 broadhead and that 380 grain arrow, that's a pretty light arrow for this application. It bled a lot more blood, but it also went 80 yards, whereas the recurve bow with the modest cut broadhead, that boar only went about 5 yards into the woods and died right there, but that hog was smaller. And obviously, none of this test is scientific. It's just an excuse to promote the gear and get out there hunting. Recurve or longbow, either way, whatever you like the best is the best for you. There's no bad answer or wrong answer. Check out Williams Hunting. Give Mike a call, and Richard and John will take great care of you. And Ken is great. Ken runs a good camp right there, and those guys are great. We make that Jumbo 3 in 100 grain, 125 grain, and 315 grains. And check out the Jumbo 3 test pack. You can write in the order notes if you want 100 grain, 125 grain, or 315 grain in any combination. And pretty extreme broadhead there, and very proud of that broadhead for North America game. Check them out at bishoparchery.com. Also check out the FOC King steel-footed arrows over at bishoparchery.com. The FOC King platform is really nice for recurve and longbows because you could change the arrow nodes and you could do a lot of things to bear shaft tune that arrow shaft. Even though it's stiffer static spine, there's a lot of things you could do that are really neat to get that super tuned to your recurve bows and your long bows. And go over to bishoparchery.com and check out all our steel-footed arrows and machined broadheads.